Hello everyone, welcome back to Manga Goblin. I'm Chicks of course, and hello if you're joining me today, or hello if this is your very first time. This is my very first sponsored video, of course done by the Forster's Foundry 3D printing service, which can be found at forstersfoundry.co.uk. They offer a range of 3D printed products on the website. The Lunar Auxiliar printed under license from That Evil One. They offer a print and paint service. We will print files from non-IP infringed STL files from places like Heroforge that are provided by individuals. They can also paint them if required. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to look at some 3D prints that they've done for me. These of course are the Evil Dwarfs by Fabziel, who can be found at Thingiverse. He also has a Patreon, but his files are available for free at later times. And of course we have Goblin Cat or Sausage helping out with the review today. What do you think, Sausage? Now these are, some of them that are gated and some of them are ungated, or supported and unsupported. So we've got a selection of 18 Evil Dwarves, which are inspired by of course the old Syrian type Chaos Dwarves that GW used to make. As you might know from my Twitter or my YouTube channel, I'm a big fan of Chaos Dwarfs, so they offered to print me these for free in exchange for a review of their 3D printing service. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at each pack and we're going to grade them and talk about what's good about them and what's bad. Now 3D printing has come a long way in recent years. Before it was quite, well, let's be honest, they look very potatoey, they look very basic, they look like the type of toy that you would find in a cheap toy store. Thank you very much, Sausage, for being part of the review so far. So what we'll do is we'll look at each pack and then we'll wrap up. So what I've done is I've got a selection of the figures here with the gates. Those are the ones that were unsupported and provided for me. And this is one I've removed the gates, or I've removed the supports from myself. This is just done fairly calmly and normally. This is the leftovers that you're left with. Once you've got the hang of it, they were quite easy to remove. If you can see, they're quite easy to remove. There is going to be a little bit of cleaning up on the model itself at a later time, but I just wanted to show what it was like when you remove the supports yourself. I mean, again, they probably need to be washed, or in some warm soapy water, just to make sure that the release or any kind of like residue is gone off from them. Now they do seem to be very detailed. They look almost exactly the standard that you'd find in GW in the mid to late 90s. So you've got a lovely Chaos Dwarf here, but the one thing that I will commend it on is, if you can see on the blunderbuss, it's a little bit of a dip there. So in the old ones they were just flat. So this is a lovely Chaos Dwarf model, or Evil Dwarf model. So yeah, so I want to thank Forster's Foundry for providing them for me. Thank you very much, they're really great. I will put the link to the STLs on Thingiverse for everyone to look at it. So check it out, do check out Fabziel as well, and do check out Forster's Foundry. Okay, so these ones that were provided for me, they were unsupported, and as you can see, the detail is on them is really crisp and really clean. You can see where they've cleaned them up a little bit. So even though they weren't provided to me supported, they might have been at some point, but I was led to believe maybe they weren't. So there's that one with the round head. That's the one that I've just removed. The same model, but obviously they removed it themselves or printed it out with supports. So that's the second one. And then the third one is the one with the sort of weird conical hat. Again, the hole in the blunderbuss. It's really lovely, really detailed. There is a slight weird feeling to them, though that's probably normal of 3D printing. That's the sort of like ridgy effect that you get to 3D printing. I don't know if it'll show up, but sometimes you can see like the layers of the 3D printing themselves. Not so much on this one, a bit more on Kingdom Death than on these ones, but still, you can see it. Maybe you can't. Okay, so last thing is, these are what the supports look like on a full model. Once you get the hang of removing them, they're fine, but getting the hang of removing them will take you about 5 or 6 minutes just to understand how they remove, and once you get the hang of it, they come off quite easily, quite simply, and not with no damage really in the model itself, and any slight nicks you can easily fix with paint or a little bit of green stuff or blue stuff or whatever, or brown stuff or grey stuff, whichever ones you use, because there's multiple versions of the epoxy putty that you can use for filling in models. So that's it. That's my very first review. I really enjoyed able to do this. This is this is a sponsored video. These were provided for me for free. So yeah, I want to thank Foundry for letting me do this review. And yeah, thank you very much for the evil doors. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.